Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pullback Edge. Before we get started, a quick disclaimer. This video is for education purposes only. The analysis is based on publicly available market data and reflects the general market observation. It is not financial advice and it does not constitute a buy or sell recommendation. Always do your own research or consult a licensed advisor. I am not a licensed advisor. Now, let's dive into this week's ASX analysis. And as we wrap up the trading week ending the 16th of Jan 2026, we'll take a step back and see how the Australian market performed at an index level. The goal here is not prediction, but perspective, understanding the relative strength, weakness, and emerging trends. Now, we are using the ASX 200 XJO as our benchmark and comparing the key ASX indices against it. Our analysis starts from the 1st of December 2025, and we will keep this start date fixed as we track week by week changes consistently. The indices we are monitoring are the same: materials, resources, gold, financials, healthcare, technology. Now, this is the table where we are showing the performance of all the indices for the last 5 days, last 21 days, last 90 days, and the last 120 days, and also comparing that same period return against the benchmark return for the same period as well. So, for example, when I'm looking at the 21-day return, it is showing me, for example, on the top, it is showing me that the gold return for the last 21 days, it returned 10.6 percentage, and compared to the benchmark, it was 7.4, which means that the gold outperformed the benchmark by 7.4. And the same would be for the long term and the medium term periods that we are looking at. Well, now, keeping specific for the last 1 week, we can see that the materials, resources, and gold, they continue to lead the market, reflecting the ongoing strength that we are seeing in commodities. The banks, financials, and REITs are showing some upward momentum, some strength. Meanwhile, at the bottom, healthcare and technology remain the laggards at the bottom, though we are starting to see some early signs of strength when we compare the returns for both of these against the return for the last 21 days or the last 90 days or the last 120 days. So we can see that the healthcare has gone positive in the last 1 week, and the technology also has better performed for the period before that. Now, markets definitely they rotate, and leaders don't lead forever, and laggards don't stay weak indefinitely. So now let's check at the relative performance on the charts as well. So it's the same information that we were seeing on the table before, but better presented in this visual form here, where we can again see that the materials, gold, and the resources continue to be at the top. And specifically, I'm really interested in at the bottom, just to see where if we can catch an early turnaround in any of these laggards here. And we can see definitely that uh, since this period of a low that the healthcare as well as the technology had made around the 6th of January, we can see both are showing an upward momentum here. So this was a trend line that we had drawn last time on the healthcare, um, joining the tops from here, and we could see that the healthcare indices in percentage terms, it is um performing good. And now what we'll do is we will be looking at some specific charts, and highlight what's worth keeping on our watch list going forward. Now we are looking at some specific charts. So now this is the watch list that I have for the ASX indices. And before diving into the laggards, if I quickly check the top performers, which was if I look at the resources, we can see the resources. Now, just for like clarity first, uh, The indicator that I'm using, it's an overlay indicator, which is called the super trend. It's available easily on the community on TradingView, and the settings that I'm using are the default 10.3. So that's a setting that I'm using. Now on the weekly, now the way that the super trend works is that as long as the prices remain below the super trend, they are in a bearish zone, and as long as they are above the super trend, even the color reflects the red or the green. So if they are above the super trend, then the instrument is in a healthy bullish uptrend. And we can clearly see on the resources, uh, the red of the super trend, which was acting as a resistance, that was broken sometime on the 14th of July 2025, and since then it has not looked back. It gave multiple opportunities for catching up on the trend. We can see there was a pullback here. We can see again there was a pullback here, and we can see that this is continue. The super trend is pointing up. As the super trend continues to point up, we know that this is in a strong bullish zone. Because what happens is when the price is consolidating and not moving anywhere, we will see a straight line like this. Super trend line just completely goes straight, and if it is straight, then it's not a point or not a time to because this is a range bound market, so there's nothing that you can do in that time frame. It's not trending, so it's better to just look for when any instrument is trending and then wait for the pullbacks. So this is the resources, all green, fantastic. If I look at the materials as well, all green, the same, because materials and resources are not very different from each other, similar companies within the two, and this continues to be the showing the uptrend and in a strong bullish trend as well. Now let's quickly look at the technology first, right? So the technology, let me just hide this one quickly first right now, so that we just see the plain price action right now, right? So this is on a weekly. What we are seeing here is the technology is definitely it's in a negative territory, but what we are trying to just see is whether this continues to be in a negative territory, or are there any observations that we can see to keep on the watch list. Now, one observation that we are seeing on a weekly here is that the strong trend that was going up since the 15th of December, the low that had been marked, if I mark this as the low, and if I from the past as well, if I just hit a line, straight line from here, so this is uh, the rectangle that I'm seeing here, that I've made it from from the strong rejection candle that we had in the past, that was on the 7th of April. So since the 7th of April, it it had gone straight. Now what we're seeing here is like it's clearly seen when it had hit a top here on the 18th of August, the super trend had gone flat. Now this was an indication, clearly an indication that the stock is not moving, and it's better to exit out of that. So it gave us some, if someone was into technology, then this would have given an early sign of a momentum weakening down. And if I look on the TSI, which is nothing but a same as a MACD, we can see here as well the momentum which are shown by these bars here, that it started to wane down, and then we could see that this downturn that it had made. Now, okay, this was all past. What now? What now is that technology is has shown a strong rejection candle on the 15th of December, which was exactly at the point where it had reversed back on the 7th of April. Now, the key would for us would be whether if it maintains or respects this low, and if we can see a close above the high of this inverted hammer here, then we know that the market structure definitely has changed for the better, and then we would want to see the super trend line start going straight, same as what we were seeing here, right? Once the super trend line starts going straight, we know that the downtrend has halted, and there are chances of a reversal from there. So but it is still pointing down on a weekly chart. Now let's dive further on a daily chart as well. And on a daily chart, we are seeing what we were seeing earlier as well. Here as well, we can see as soon as the line got started to go straight, we could see that it went into this cloud of the super trend, but it could not breach this. That was a sign that the with this reversal candle as well, which was like a strong reversal candle capturing the price action for last 2 weeks or 2 days, and since then it has been on a downtrend as well. So here we saw this strong bullish reversal, which was again as we were seeing on the weekly. It's around the 18th of December to be specific, and since then we have not seen a low below this. But if we go on the TSI as well, let's see. What we see here is that this low, the TSI or the histograms were at the least bottom. Here, when it made a low, the TSI did not make that low. And here as well, when we are coming onto the same around the same area, we are starting to see that the histogram has in fact turned green. So uh, it it does not mean that it has reversed. What it does mean that it is consolidating and it is not as weak as it was back in the month of November. So something to keep an eye on, and something which we will monitor on a weekly basis as well. And if I have to just quickly draw a trend line as well, which is a simple but very effective tool, I can see this coming closer, which would be, if it maintains this low, then this would be the period where we would be expecting the some action in here. So now let's go back on the weekly and look at the healthcare as well. And on the healthcare as well, we can see the same, something similar on the healthcare as well. It had it's finding support now. It is finding support exactly at the which was around 2.5 years ago on the 30th of October. Now healthcare is not that bad. The whole sector, very innovative companies in here. It definitely is not bad as the chart uh, seems to be making it look like, and definitely it should be stronger from here, and that's what we are looking at right now. Here there was a bearish move above on the week of the 5th of January, and this was a good rejection candle as well with a high low wick, and since then we are seeing these 2 weeks of an uptrend here. The super trend has gone straight, and if I was drawing a straight trend line meeting these two high points, I can see that this is now on the other side of this trend line. So if I go on a daily chart as well, it would be the visually is it's better to see when we go on a granular level. Now this is the trend line that I had drawn, and very well respecting this trend line, and now we can see that this is on the other side of the trend line. Look, is it completely positive? No, because it continues to be below the super trend. But the positive thing that we are seeing here is that the super trend line has gone straight, which means that we are not seeing any new low, and we are seeing the price consolidating here. So now all that we are seeing now here is a break above this straight line, and then a pullback, then to just assess some strong stocks in there. So with this, friends, we complete the analysis for this week. Hope this was beneficial, added some value to your own analysis, and we'll catch up next week for another weekly analysis. Thanks.